同学们好，欢迎来到中国城市和当代生活的课堂。Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture on cities and lifestyle in China. 我今天的教学内容是中国特色城市的介绍，我将会使用到参观法、讲授法、讨论法等等。参观法主要是利用图片的形式带领同学们参观一些中国城市。我的教学对象是中学生，他们的汉语水平是初级入门。我的教学目标是了解4个中国城市，带领同学们熟悉这些城市的特点，以加深对中国的理解。我的名字是王小娟。接下来我们将正式进入课堂。中国 China. When you hear the word, you must already have some basic knowledge about it. For example, where is China? How is China like? If you think about it, you probably already have the map of China in your mind. All right, so let's look at the map. First of all, I would like to ask you to locate your own country. For example, if you're from Uganda, where is Uganda? Can you find it? Yes, of course, Uganda is in East Africa. East Africa, it's somewhere here. All right, then now I think you can see where China is. Yes, China is here. As you already know, China is in Asia, especially in East Asia. China is here, and it's a really big piece of land. All right, now let's zoom in and see what China is like if we look at it closely. Are you curious about how many regions there are and what cities there are? For example, you already know some cities about China, in China. All right, let's look at the map here. This is China. I think I'm gonna ask you to name some Chinese cities which you're familiar with. Yes, for example, Guangzhou is here in southern China, and of course, Hong Kong. Hong Kong is here. Hong Kong is near Guangzhou. And also, yeah, Beijing. Yeah, of course, Beijing is the capital city, so probably everyone already knows it. Yes, so as you can see, China is big, and there are many cities, except those ones you already know. Are you curious about other cities which probably have more specific features? Are you curious, or would you like to know more about it? Yes, of course, I would take it as yes. And yes, so we summarize a bit about China before we go to the cities in China. The full name or the official name of China is, yes, 中国 is the abbreviation. So the full name is 中华人民共和国, yes, People's Republic of China. The area is 9.6 million square kilometers, yes, so it's really big. And the population, yeah, everybody knows this one because China has a very big population that is 1.4 billion. This is the newly updated information. And yes, finally, you have the cities. We have 684 cities around this number. But if we dig deeper, probably there are more. But now let's take it as this one. There are around 700 cities in China. Yes, of course, that's many, right? All right, so we can't cover or we can't introduce all of them, but next I will introduce some cities with very specific or very unique features. But before we jump into one individual or one specific city, generally about cities in China, what do you know? You can have a small discussion with your classmates or just think about it by yourself. See what do you know about cities in China. Maybe some names. Do you have some names? Yes, you already mentioned Beijing, Guangzhou, Xianggang, Hong Kong, or some famous tourist destinations. What do you know about this? Yes, the Great Wall. Yeah, of course, that's famous. And the Forbidden City. Yeah, of course, that's in Beijing. Anything else? Mountain Everest. Yeah, of course. That's good. All right. If you think about those cities or those famous tourist destinations, what features come into your mind? For example, if you think of Beijing, what's the feature that comes into your mind? Yeah, it's the capital city and it's very developed, right? Yeah, all right. Now, we already have a general information about the cities in China, and we know each city is different. Each city has specific features. So next we will look at the first city I'm gonna introduce to you. Yeah, it's here. It's in northeast China, as you can see, it's up there. So of course it's probably, yeah, cold because it's up there, it's in north. All right, let's look at the name. It's called Harbin in Chinese, Harbin. It's the capital city of Heilongjiang province. As you can see, it's the border, it's near the border. And across the border, it's Russia. It's here. All right, let's think about it. Probably many of you didn't know the city before, but now please think about, is there any information related to the city Harbin in your mind? Or have you ever seen the name before? Yes. All right. Okay, so you know the name, but how about the features? How about other information? Think about it. All right. Let's see some pictures. It's beautiful, right? This is the city. Of course, it's not the whole city. It's just one corner of the city. It looks like colorful, bright. It's in the evening. Yeah, so there are many lights. And next one. Oh yeah, that's ice. The whole place or the architectures in the picture are made of ice, as you can see. It's crystal clear and seems cold. So if the light is turned on, it looks like the first picture, and the second is in daytime, so it's more obvious that it's ice. So according to the information from the map and also these two pictures, we know Harbin is the city that is really cold, especially in winters. Okay, so Harbin is called as the ice city, but don't get it wrong. It's called the ice city because it's very cold in winter and it snows a lot and the temperature is really low. So the ice comes around and people make things with ice. And so there is ice sculpture festival, which is really famous in China. And probably you would like to visit since you can see the ice city. I mean, literally the ice city. The architecture, some buildings are built with ice, but I think it you only can see it in winters, but it's amazing since things are made of ice. Why people can make an ice city there? Yeah, because it's indoors. It's really cold in winter, and the temperatures is like from minus 42 degrees to 39 or 40 degrees. Of course, in summer it's also warm and hot, but in winter it's really cold. It's really cold. I have never been there, but I would really like to go. So yes, it's really interesting. I hope one day you could go and visit. All right, this is the first city. And the second city, this is a very big piece of land. So if you want to visit a city next, where would you like to be? I personally would like to go to here, Beijing. Yeah, the capital city. All right, let's look at it closer. This is the city. It's called Beijing. And it's also in north, but it's not that north compared with Harbin. It's here. So I think you are already very familiar with this one. So what do you know about Beijing? Yeah, it's the capital city, right? All right. Yeah, it's developed as we discussed before. So let's look at some pictures. Let's enjoy some destinations, tourist destinations. The first one must be Changcheng, the Great Wall, the Great Wall of China, Changcheng. The second one is Beijing Daxue, Peking University. So some of you probably want to study in China. Maybe this is the dream school you would like to go to study because it's one of the top universities in China. Sometimes it can be the best. It's the best. It's not one of the best. It's the best. Okay. And then we have Gugong, the Forbidden City. Well, maybe this is your impression on China, since this represents traditional Chinese culture. It's a palace, apparently it's a palace. And the architecture is amazing, it's beautiful, and it contains a lot of culture, history. All right, next we look at Olympic Games, 奥运会. The first picture on the left is the bird's nest. So yeah, some of you know it. The Olympic Games in 2008 was held here. This is the stadium, yes. And the second picture is about the Winter Olympics in 2022. Yeah, so Beijing is the city that held or will hold two Olympic Games. One is in 2008. Another one is in 2022. Okay, you probably will want to like to check some information about it when the Winter Olympic Games start. It's gonna be in February. Yeah, maybe you will see the team from your country. All right, so let's summarize something about Beijing. It's the capital city. And it has 91 universities. So among those 91 universities, many of them are the top universities in China and even the world. So as for the language, Mandarin or 普通话, the language you are learning now is, yes, is the official language of China, but the dialect in Beijing is really close to Mandarin or the official language of China. Yeah, so if you can speak Mandarin or the official language of China, then you probably can understand most dialects in Beijing, but probably you can't understand most dialects in other areas in China. Yes, we talked about the Great Wall and the Forbidden City. Well, yeah, of course, those are cultural heritages. There are many others, but those two are the most famous ones. And of course, those are also really important in China and even worldwide for all humankind. Yes, and sports, yes, of course, you still remember Olympic Games, sports. So Beijing is like a really big city with a lot different features in education, in economy, culture, sports. Yeah, maybe, of course, this is probably your first destination if you're going to China. All right, okay, this is Beijing. And the next city, where would you like to go? I would say, you see, we already covered two cities in the east, right? So next, how about we go to the west? The west, yes. Okay, here is the city. It's here, it's in northwest of China. It's called Lhasa. It's the capital city of Xizang, Tibet. Okay, what do you know about Lhasa, the city Lhasa? Do you know anything or have you heard of it before? Yes, all right, that's good. Okay, let's look at the picture. Budala Gong, Potala Palace. This is the most famous tourist destination in Lhasa. And also, if you go there, you probably will see a lot these kind of people. They're Tibetan Buddhist monks. Yes, so Tibetan Buddhism is really popular there. Most people, most local people believe in Tibetan Buddhism. They practice this religion there. Okay, so as we can see, Lhasa is in northwest of China. So it's really cold in winter as well. Why? Because the altitude is really high. It's around 3,600 meters. Usually, yeah, if we take the cities, other cities as example, for example, Kampala in Uganda, actually the altitude is only 1,000, around 1,000 meters. But there, Lhasa is around 3,600 meters. So this makes it with enough sunshine. So as you can see, the sky is really bright. And of course, Tibetan Buddhism, it's really popular there. And it's also one of the attractions to tourists because people are curious about how people practice Tibetan Buddhism there. And also Tibetan music. You will like to hear it. And I will put a link here so you can listen to one of the songs, which is really popular in China. All right, this is Lhasa. So we have been to the east, the west. Yes, how about now we go to the south, the south. All right, let's move to the island here. It's an island, as you can see. It's called Hainan Island. And there is a city called Sanya. I know you probably are familiar with Hong Kong and Guangzhou, but how about Sanya? Actually, these three cities are near. Sanya, have you ever heard of it? Anything comes into your mind when you hear Sanya? All right, let's see some pictures first. Wow, yes, amazing beaches. As you can see, it's coastal. So there are many beaches which are really beautiful. And these buildings, are they fantastic? Yes, of course. These are mostly luxury hotels. And 免税店, duty-free mall. It's one of the biggest tourist destinations in Sanya. All right, so since Sanya is in the south, apparently it's tropical. That's why it has really beautiful beaches. And we have seen the pictures of the luxury hotels and duty-free malls. So of course, the tourism is the most important economy there. Since it's tropical and it's coastal, yeah, of course, those features make it cozy. So it's my favorite city because it's really comfortable being there. The weather, the climate, the people, and the food. There are many tropical fruits. Okay, so we have visited 4 cities virtually, but yes, of course, I hope one day you can visit those cities physically. But so far, for now, I would like to ask you one more question. So which one is your favorite? You probably would choose other cities except those 4 we have discussed. But yeah, it's definitely okay. For example, you can say your favorite city is Hong Kong. It's totally fine. And you also can say your favorite city is Xi'an, which is the city where I am from. Yeah, so you can say whatever you like as long as you have this general information and idea on Chinese cities. Yeah, personally, my favorite city is Sanya. So I hope everyone can have a chance to go and visit someday, and maybe you will have more thoughts and ideas on how Chinese cities are really like. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. 谢谢大家。